Epic Santa is going to be first up versus... Is it going to be an elf? Is it Vith? Wait, whoa. Oh, no, it is a Boomkin versus a Hunter instead. No. I think he was thinking it was going to be Epic Santas. I think he's just setting up a gates and everything. Nelv is going to try to see if he can get himself an angle versus Vith. Bear form is available. Trinkets out. That's going to be his trees everywhere. Does use the little flap ability to gain himself a bit of distance. That is very, very cool together. If you can do that disengage with a bit of flap, it does give you a little bit of that distance that you can go flying, which is really, really nice. Does at least get himself some damage. That is also another ability that's about to get nerfed too, is that the tree setup that you can do as a boomkin. It's when you summon the trees and your next couple of rats or starfires do that big explosion. Yeah, apparently they're about to nerf that as well for PvP, which is unfortunate. Speared out for Nelv. It's going to be Vince trying to see if he can back up out of there. Bartiskin is available. Got himself a bit of that burst. Is that going to be enough though? Got himself the procs onto Nelv, who's got himself turtle together with... Or he's got himself wall together with a mini turtle from the turtle. Is it? Can I actually see the turtle? No, not at the moment. But it normally is like a little turtle that pops its own version of turtle shell that sits on top of your head or your shoulder, one of those two. Vith catching up a lot of health, and Nelf is not in a great spot. Still rotted, bash to follow trinket. It's going to be a feign death for a second. Turtle shows up, mending bandages, not letting dots do damage yet. But next ability could potentially put him in a bad spot. Stun onto Vith. Does he have enough damage is the question. Try to see if he can back up out of there, but gets rooted as he's disengaging. Freezing trap just to stop the damage for a second. Fear of the Eagle isn't enough. Body shuttle to Vith isn't enough. No, Vith doesn't end up taking him out. Barely alive, but does walk out of it on top. Man, that is wild. I play everything because I'm an alcoholic, but not good at any of them. Honestly, I'm an alcoholic as well. But for reasons of, I love my rogue, I love playing my rogue, but eventually I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm reaching that peak with gear, I need something else to work on. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm peaking with my gear, I need something else to grind out for a bit. Plus, there's so many fun playstyles, especially with this season and the tier systems we've gotten, there's so much variety. Why wouldn't you want to play like every build out there? Vith taking a lot of damage. That's going to be a pretty big setup for a rift. Even got a couple of those mind blasts or void blasts from around the corner. Herds though taking a bit of damage and taking a bit of that hurt. As Vith getting barraged down on with a volley, but he's okay. Silence to follow. He's right next to the Shadow Priest. He's going to go for a bash. Root Silence to follow. He's going to get out of the root fairly quickly. Trees are in play, and they're going to add a little bit of the passive damage into Hurts. Actually, it's able to burn to quite a bit of mana. Just a flash heal, and his health is not going up. It is barely going anywhere. It's going to be a Shadow Crash from a distance. Vith able to trade in dots. Both of them are going for a bit of that self-heal, but it feels like the pets from Vith could actually suppress a lot of that healing from Hurts. He's literally having to press a flash heal every global just to stay alive. Gonna be some movement out of it though. Expecting the stun or any kind of CC chain from Hurts, but he's actually full health. Was able to chop himself off fairly quickly with a quick stun. Gonna be a full rift. Does Hurts Blast have enough instacast for the Void Blast though? Because if you can get Void Blast, the Mind Blast version, or the Void version of Mind Blast, you could get a lot of pressure. Pets are in. Silence to fall onto Vith. Main to go bear form. Bartiskin bear for a second until he can actually get a cast off. Fear to follow. The pets is still in. He's got a Void Shift. Okay, the Void Shift is a play for sure. The Void Shift is definitely a play. But Vith is looking very, very healthy. Void Shift is a weird one. Sometimes we allow it because, well, sometimes we allow it if like Shadow Priests are really, really rough in 1v1s. And other times we don't allow it when the Shadow Priests are like insane and self-healing. I don't really know what the call would be. Big Star Surge is blasted out for Vith. He's got himself the Dryad around the corner too. Dryad also adding quite a significant bit of that overall damage. Next Star Surge is potentially going to be huge here. Herds Blast though goes in for a Disperse. Trying to see if he can close the gap. Has a Fear available in case he needs to. Vith got a lot of self-healing though. While in bear form, silenced out. Herds trying to see if he can catch up. He needs to land that Fear to establish control. And actually Vith right next to him goes in for a bash, trigger to follow, backing up out of there. Dark Ascension is in play. He wants to go in for full damage. PI and everything is available. Vith got himself lots of regrowths. Feathers are up on the pillars, but can't quite reach him. He is gonna go for a big Void Torrent. Vith with a bark skin, got regrowths. Next fear could be very, very deadly. Next fear could put him in a really bad spot because you have a stun to follow up. Avoiding the rift, actually escaping it last second with trees in play. Those trees are going to add some significant damage here. Earth Blaster is able to fade the trees. It looks like they just waddled away to something else. I think a tentacle. He's able to avoid quite a decent bit of damage from those things. Trinket, big Starshard is with the Triad. Second one down, and the Boom Kid does hold on strong with Lotto. Gonna be up next. I think we're missing out somebody on team 1. Can Vith go like 3 for 3? Potentially. Fear of the Eagle. Vith has no health whatsoever. Grenades are flying in. I think he's having to play against a survival. That is a Sentinel. I don't really know what you can do in this situation. Unless you got like a wild big heal. Meld? You have another heal. Bash for a second. Barskin is available. Bear form. Renewal is up really soon. Renew. Better renew. You better renew. If you're gonna press it, here it goes renew. Heart of the Wild not available for a while. Lotto has a trinket though. Vith is just gonna have to play it super slow and steady. Actually doing the trees and letting the dots rot him down may be the play. This actually might be the right answer. He's got himself a bit of the flap. Root from a distance. Just trying to catch up as much shielding as he can. Hold on, Vith potentially can go for yet another one. This definitely is not a matchup that's great for him. But maybe he can make something work. No stunts for a while, unless he's got a big heal. Just trying to see if he can power shift, scatter for a second, back to bear form. I don't really know what you can do in this situation. Just trying to see if he can back up out of there. Every regrowth counts right now. Could get some trees going. But at this point, I don't really know if you have the health for it. Unless you got friends in region right now. No. That is so rough. Who's up next? Who is up next? That was rough, man. Not gonna lie, that was rough. Jason is going to be up next. Grappling in. Immediate cheap shot onto Lotto. Got himself the ambushes. Trinkets right after. Try to see if you keep the pistol shot pressure going. Got the coin flips and everything. Lotto catching him with a quick root. Grenades right after. But I don't really know what Lotto... I don't know if Lotto can win this actually. No more trinket. Next unlock by Jason could potentially be very, incredibly deadly. Definitely going to give it the best shot he's got though. Medic Bennett is in. Disarm right after. Got us a bit of a slow onto Jason. Kidney shot right after. Able to lock him down. Killing spree firing up both at the pet as well as Lotto. Not really able to focus in a lot of damage to Lotto specifically, unfortunately. But does get himself a freezing trap reset. I like that old goblin try he's got going on, by the way. And also goblin racial just to give himself some movement. Right now, all he can maybe do is just turtle shell, manic bandage. Waiting at the rogue. Try to see if you can cleave. You can no longer cleave into the turtle shell like you used to be able to. Unfortunately. Jason got himself a little bit of damage here. Just a little bit of output. Freezing trap available around the corner. Maybe might be able to buy himself enough time. Full camo. If we can just set the camo, he might be okay here. Might be okay. Yeah, actually got himself full reset. Jason trying to see if he can just get himself a quick pickup with the eye into a first aid for Lotto. Hold on a second. Lotto might be able to bring it back actually. Right now, it's up to him to try to survive as best as possible. Flare down. There's going to be a freezing trap waiting behind him. As long as Jason doesn't walk forward, he'll be okay. Yeah, unfortunately, he does end up waddling. That is unfortunate, but I think he's still at pressure. Disarm right after. He is rooted for a second. I don't know if he's got to grapple again. Blind doesn't keep Lotto in place for a moment. Got himself the reroll. Cheap shot, potentially enough damage. Rooted for a second. Lotto with a fade death. Does wall those damage. I don't really know if he still survives it. Try to see if he goes for some counter pressure onto Jason with a scatter. Body shot does happen. I don't know if he's got any range damage. Grapples in. If you got any grenade damage, this is the only thing that can really help you. But Jason does get himself one more cleave at the very tail end. Now it's down to Demonic to try to see if he can fight through Jason, Layson, and Epic Santos. It's gotta go through a lot. It's gotta go through a lot here. Got some evasion early on. Demoniac is gonna back up out of there really quickly. Kidney shot right after. I think it might be lights. Jason does go for a trinket. Landing a kidney onto Demoniac before he can get himself a proper big go. And if you can maybe just cut him out, you might be okay. Cloak of Shadows for the Kingsbane to be able to counter it. So that is actually good. But he knows the bleeds are gonna get him. Unfortunately, bleeds do still get him. Smoke bomb down immediately. Try to see if he can back up out of there. As Santos looking to land a stun, does get himself a quick reset. That is so rough, man. That is so rough. Or Blizzard, or make Paladin last in a while to make a message. What do you mean? Like in terms of raw damage? Just nerf him to smithereens? I don't know, man. Maybe the nerfs that are coming to Red Paladins, maybe those will be enough. Who knows? I did see how Survival caught it like a random nerf too. It's just wild. They did buff up Beastmaster at the very least, so Dark Ranger BM should feel pretty good, hopefully. Big, what is it, overpower? by the Overlord. Or is it a clash? I don't remember. But a big cleave. Oh, maybe it's a cleave. Maybe it's a cleave. Demoniac is in a position where he can still vanish. Actually, Sancho's not looking that good health-wise. Hold on a second. He's kind of low. Wall is up. No more cloak for Demoniac. As long as he can maybe live this, he might be okay. The Shadow Bolt did hurt. Does get himself a quick re-stealth. If he can land himself the bleeds onto Santos, maybe with the Kingsbane, he's probably going to be okay. Garrote, Kidney Shot, got himself the big coin flips and everything. Maybe potential enough damage. Kingsbane, Shiv is in. The Shiv is in. Does step the stun. So try to see if you go for a bit of a reset. That is going to be the chaos mode to drop it in a bunch of damage. Sanchez is kind of low on health. He's got himself Nether Ward, but I don't think he can really stop anything here. If you get one more Envenom in between of that go, let the blades do the rest. Demoniac does actually end up bringing it back for his team little by little. Lacing pick it up eye immediately. Not going to let Demoniac out of his sight whatsoever. Next Hodge, I think you're dead, unfortunately. I don't maybe you just free fainted. I think it's over. And bunk. No bunk. Bunk. Bonk happened, but he's alive. Evasion is in play. Oh yeah, I was gonna say there's no chance. There's no chance. Did do good though. Viz, by the way, is a boom kid, absolutely popping up. We did have a DC over on the team 1. That's because Viz was in mid game, unfortunately.